Non-Americans, what is something about the US that you've always wondered if it was real or just myth/hyperbole? Is it really a common thing that the police busts parties of high schoolers? Do young people get arrested then because of underage drinking? That is true. Shit's crazy with underage drinking. I've told this story to multiple Europeans who generally respond with, no, really? My record says that I served 4 days in jail for underage drinking. What happened was I was at a party, I was 18. It got busted and I got a citation which said, pay fine or go to court. And so since I was drunk and partying, I may have set fire to the citation that night. The next day I was like, wonder what exactly that said, if I'm leaving this state today. So I left that state and I went back to where I was actually living. I'm 2,000 miles away, about a year later, where I was actually living, and I get pulled over and the cop is like, did you know you have a warrant 2,000 miles over there, an FTA for an MIP? I laughed and said, why do you know about that? He was like, I'm not really sure why I know about that. And then he was like, I'm not doing anything about it but maybe you want to sometime. So I talked to my lawyer about it and it turned out that the reason that the cop 2,000 miles away could see this was because the county that had the warrant knew that my mom lived nearby across state lines and I'd probably be there sometime and they were willing to extradite me across state lines for an FTA for an MIP. So I was like, I'm gonna go home sometime, for my mom's birthday, I'm gonna get arrested leaving the airport, be stuck in jail and my mom's gonna be all, you're my favorite child. So my lawyer contacted the county and was all, let's work something out. The county was like, the judge wants him to turn up. My lawyer was like, it's an FTA on an MIP and he's 2,000 miles away. And the county was like, It turns out that this particular random-ass middle-of-nowhere county has one of the highest rates in the entire country for sending people to prison. So I ended up taking a trip back home, went to the neighboring state, turned myself into jail. Then there was some hold-up, paperwork shit. I don't get into court until 4 days later. Decided not to tell the judge, this whole issue arose from me setting fire to the citation, thumbs up, then the judge dismissed the FTA and said time served on the MIP. So I left, went back to my mom's and went to a party that night to be honest. And that's how my record says I spent 4 days in jail for adult underage drinking.
Hi guys, if you like my video, please just subscribe, drop a like and tap the bell, so you won't miss the next video. I'm already working on a new one for you, so see you.
The massive media circus surrounding elections. Unfortunately very true. The astronomical number of advertisements online, TV, radio, newspaper, everywhere. And they start months and months ahead of the election. Mostly for president but plenty for governor and Congress. They also still televise debates between the top candidates, but there's nothing about them anymore resembling a formal debate. Just a semi-controlled environment for them to answer broad questions and make jabs at each other. Don't forget the millions of mailers that come each election cycle. So much junk mail from politicians that instantly go in the recycling. A mailer has never influenced my vote. Don't forget the text messages. The bane of my existence. I can't stand it. Edit. If there are any political operatives or whatever reading this, text spam has literally only ever convinced me not to donate to your candidate. Fuck you with your unsolicited bullshit. Do pharmaceutical companies really get to advertise their drugs on TV? Yes, and they comprise about half the ads on most channels, armies of sprightly old people singing and dancing while product disclaimers scroll by, may cause injury or death, don't take if allergic to. I've been thinking about writing down every drug I see that says, ask your doctor if Squinoflex, arbidarbidirium sulfate, is right for you, and the next time I go to the doctor I'm going to ask about all of them one after the other. Also be sure to tell your doctor if you have cancer or heart disease. In case everyone somehow left that off your chart. If it's true you can buy guns in Walmart. Most of them, yeah. The counter at my Walmart is left constantly unmanned too. Are there really beer kegs in big parties? Where do you even buy kegs? Yes. Many liquor stores offer kegs, you have to return the empty keg in taps. I literally walked into a liquor store and ordered 2 for my wedding and they even delivered it. So, yes. One of our exchange students was floored when she found out that the yellow school buses are real. The funny thing about the yellow school buses is who would make that up and then go to the effort of having a bunch made but then only using them in the movies? Yes, they are totally a thing and I guess I'm surprised to realize other countries don't have them. Sorority/fraternity culture at university. Greek life as it's called exists at the majority of 4 years universities. The vibe of the Greek life depends heavily on the university itself, and the frat/soror. All of them have an academic, social, and civic, volunteer, component, but how much emphasis is placed on each varies significantly. My kid is in a sorority for STEM majors. You have to maintain a certain GPA to stay a current member. They do study groups together, and set up various science booths with kids' activities at local fairs and have networking events and bring in speakers addressing career pointers and advice. Very academic. My friend's kid is in one of the Divine Nine, which are historically black Greek organizations. These were and are historically and socially important organizations, and many of their members stay active in the organization for life. Again, it's a social and networking club and also does philanthropy. The adult members often hold fundraisers to create scholarships and also serve as mentors for younger members. There is one another friend's kid is in, it's mostly the frat parties you see on TV. And another friend goes to University of Alabama and her kid is spending thousands on clothes and jewelry so she has the right look to rush a specific sorority. I don't know much about that type, just that it exists. I think it's nuts. Honestly, I always wondered if high school really had cliques like jocks, nerds, and cheerleaders, or if that was just a movie thing. Also, are red Solo cups actually a party essential, or just Hollywood branding? Nobody feels particularly drawn to red Solo cups, but they are essential to parties. They're good quality, can last all night, but are cheap enough to toss the next day. If you buy a store brand of disposable plastic cups, they do feel inferior in quality. Most people don't have enough glassware for more than 8 people, and also don't host often enough to warrant dedicating an entire cabinet just to glasses for parties. It is kind of amusing how obsessed non-Americans are with the red Solo cups. It's not something that we really think about or derive joy from, it's just something that you do. They're also crucial for drinking games like beer pong and flip cup. Other plastic cups are often smaller, which would make those games a lot harder and less fun. And the less sturdy ones wouldn't hold up in more intense games like slap cup. Is it true that prices of goods in shops is displayed without the tax and you have to work that bit out yourself? Surely not. That's correct. I never do the actual math, I just know that something priced $19.99 is gonna be somewhere around $20.15, depending on what it is and where I am. I suppose people with tighter budgets might calculate it, though, as part of their budgeting. ETA, I'm sorry guys, I really just pulled some numbers out of my ass here. I have no idea what my sales tax is. I just know that what I pay is more than what's on the sticker. I don't have to really worry about it beyond that. I did work at a movie theater once that had everything priced so that with tax, it ended either on the even dollar, 25 cents, 50 cents, or 75 cents. So if people paid in cash, they usually didn't need to give us smaller coins, like dimes or pennies, just quarters. The sales tax also varies from state to state and can even vary from counties and cities within each individual state. Typically people don't take the time to calculate the sales tax and just know it'll be more than the price tag. Having a big coffee place, like Starbucks or something, on almost every street corner. Like, fact or myth? I've genuinely always wondered if that's true, hyperbole, or something that Hollywood just likes to joke about. I'm European, and we have Starbucks in my neck of the woods too. But there's like only 2 different big coffee chains like that in my whole country. Sure, there's small mom and pop cafes everywhere, but not big box coffee places like that aren't really as common here. Starbucks is actually one of the 2 big chains in my country, and someone would have to at least commute a few minutes by public transport to get to even one of those in the first place. It's also generally considered pretty upscale too in my culture to regularly go to those big coffee chains. Most people in my culture just go to those small mom and pop cafes for a cup of coffee, lol. So I have to wonder, are places like Starbucks and Tim Hortons really more common in the US or not? Like, I've actually always wanted to genuinely ask an American that, but never had the chance, lol. I shit you not that it is not unheard of to have 2 Starbucks at the same intersection on different corners, but you probably will only see that in cities. I live in a very small town in Wisconsin. We have a Starbucks inside Target. And directly across the street is a grocery store that also has a Starbucks inside. So 2 Starbucks within 1,000 feet of each other. And there's a standalone Starbucks about a mile away. I love that every wild thing is always a yes. Typically it's all true. I haven't seen anything really wild yet. Just the norm, oops, just the norm.